Hey, Biz Nasty, how are you doing? I just got out of my week timeout, and are you a mod? Can I mod you, sweetheart? Let me see what I'm doing here. Oh, good. I had to restart because I couldn't accept a guest. Like it would do a little load. Let me see what I'm doing here. Oh, good. I had to restart because I couldn't accept a guest. Like it would do a little loading thing here. Oh, good. I had to restart because I couldn't accept a guest. Like it would do a little loading thing here. Oh, good. I had to restart because I couldn't accept a guest. Like it would do a little loading thing here. Oh, good. I had to restart because I couldn't accept a guest. Like it would do a little loading thing. Add loading thing. Add moderator. I'm going to add people, and then I'm loading thing. Add moderator. I'm going to add people, and then I mute them and loading thing. Add moderator. I'm going to add people, and then I mute them and TikTok. Right when I wanted to work, yeah, it's still like I can't see TikTok. Right when I wanted to work, yeah, it's still like I can't see TikTok. Right when I wanted to work, yeah, it's still like I can't see I could see my forehead. Yeah, I hope I get an initial push. I I got in trouble. People get really people get really heated about this topic. I don't know if you've seen me have this conversation before. Hey, Jordy's here. Hey, Jordy, are you here? Are you a moderator, sweetheart? See, it's so slow. Okay, good. It's getting a little faster. Oh, you are a moderator. Good. I know I might need help blocking people because, like, when they say something nasty, I'm going to drop them, but they still need blocked. Yeah, have a question. You could ask it in the chat now. Now would be a good time, people, because, like, when they say something nasty, I'm going to drop them, but they still need blocked. Yeah, have a question. You could ask it in the chat now. Now would be a good time to ask. So, that's what time it is. Give me a second. I'm going to get it wrong. Well, that's a terrible attitude. Let's see. So, that's what time it is. Give me a second. I'm going to get it wrong. Well, that's a terrible attitude. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. A serious mental disorder. Those are the people that can access the scare. Anyways, a serious mental disorder. Those are the people that can access the scare. Anyways, I want to talk about this. A serious mental disorder. Those are the people that can access the scare. Anyways, I want to talk about this. Has it ever been that you worry about the neighbors, how they were raising their kids and what doctors they were taking them to, right? It's America. You got to raise your kids with your values. Guess what? I know what you want to do, guys. I know that you wouldn't let your kids, you would knock it out of them. I know that's what you would do. Yeah, God forbid your kid pick out a Barbie, let alone grow their hair out, pick out their clothes, change their name, change their pronouns. Pronouns. Yeah, y'all are crazy. And what you clothes, change their name, change their pronouns. Pronouns. Yeah, y'all are crazy. And what you don't realize is that what you're doing is very much anti-American, and it's very much a slippery slope. It's a terrible slippery slope because when we that what you're doing is very much anti-American, and it's very much a slippery slope. It's a terrible slippery slope because when we start saying their kids or something, It's outrageous. This is how much control you have over your kids' medical care in America. If you're a certain flavor of Christianity, this is how much control you have over your kids' medical care in America. If you're a certain flavor of Christianity called Jehovah's Witness, this is how much control you have over your kids' medical care in America. If you're a certain flavor of Christianity called Jehovah's Witness, this is how much control you have over your kids' medical care in America. If you're a certain flavor of Christianity called Jehovah's Witness, this is how much control you have over your kids' medical care in America. If you're a certain flavor of Christianity called Jehovah's Witness, appendix take blood, appendix take blood, table because South released a study. Appendix take blood, table because South released a study 10 years said access care, and I'm talking about hormone blockers and HRT. 97 said access care, and I'm talking about hormone blockers and HRT. 97 said access care, and I'm talking about hormone blockers and HRT. 97% continued. Oh my gosh. Guys. I don't have the Wi-Fi on. I don't know why the Wi-Fi is not on. Hey, Marcy, my wife, I'm going to do a restart. Actually, let me see if I can turn the Wi-Fi on. I can't. Let me see. Okay, guys, I didn't have the Wi-Fi on. I can't believe it. This is my third restart, and the other guy said is it better? Okay, guys, I didn't have the Wi-Fi on. I can't believe it. This is my third restart, and the other guy said is it better? Come on, though. I'm already in the comments. I'm in the box. Let's see. I think it might be working better. I thought the app was bugging because I'm like, why is it taking so damn long to load shit? Marcy, are you there?
I'm there. Are you? How are you?
I'm fine. What's terrible is that I thought the app was buggy. My Wi-Fi button wasn't on my phone, and it's supposed to do that itself. So, yeah, I'm bummed out, guys, because I just feel like an old person. That makes me feel like an old person. Oh, technology. How's your day going?
Doing well. I destroyed Charlie today, and it was so funny because she was just flailing up there. Speaking of flailing, I don't know if you saw, but Trump's executive order against on there only being two genders was blocked today by a judge, and the judge wrote basically said that he's like, so everything that you wrote in this from a biological standpoint is incorrect, and you're denying over 30 different types of intersex individuals. So they pretty much blocked the executive order on two genders right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, but I'm not surprised to hear it. But I'm happy to hear that the judge. It sounds like the judge had an education. Hey, let me say hi to Steve. Hey, Steve, can I get your age for terms of service? I'm 48.
I'm 52.
You're 52. Well, thanks for joining. So I wanted to talk about this healthcare here. Are you somebody that thinks that legislating against this healthcare is a good thing?
I believe 100% that gender affirming care for minors is absolutely fucking bananas.
Okay. Where did you get your medical degree?
You don't need a medical degree to have a head on your shoulders.
I
I
mean,
don't need to be.
I
Hey,
just wait. Why do you
do
think?
you,
No,
do you have a poli sci degree? Where do you get off talking about politics without a poli sci degree? It's so fucking stupid of you to say something.
hey, everybody, Marcy, I like to do 1v1.
Yeah. I'll back off.
No, it's okay. And so, Steve, I want to have a 1v1 conversation with you.
Yeah.
And what I want to say first off is that I would never tell people how to raise their kids or how doctors should practice medicine. I wouldn't tell the neighbors, oh, that chemotherapy is it's going to fuck your kid up. Don't go for it, kind of a deal, right? What Marcy said is very much correct. That the medical consensus is that this is healthcare. Let me put this up on the screen real quick.
For every child that you can say that had gender affirming care because they were not what they were born to be, there is as many or more people that went through gender affirming care that regret that they went through it and now have had changes made to their body they can't take back.
Okay,
And so
Steve,
now they wish they could, but they can't. So for every
this is the way
every
conversation works.
instance you
Hey, I'm an old man, and I can't hear you when I'm trying to talk to you. And you already told me what you said, and I want to say bullshit. What I just put on the background was that every major medical association, 1.3 million U.S. doctors believe this is healthcare. Now, you said there's a higher regret rate or equal regret rate. That's bullshit. It wouldn't be around. That's not how medicine works. This is from a 10-year study. This is from the JAMA. It's the Journal of American Medical Associations, okay, pediatrics. This is a 10-year study specifically on juveniles, on teenagers that receive puberty blockers and HRT, 4% regret rate of some sort, 97% continued accessing gender affirming care. This is an ongoing study. It's going to go on for 20 years. So where's your study? Where's your study? And here's the thing. Oh, she's gone. She's gone. W said it in the chat. Here's the thing, Marcy. That guy's just a bigot. He just hates queer people, and we know what he's watching. We know what he spends his time on. It's yelling at queer people on TikTok and then going to his X Hamster account. Let me see. Let me change the background. I got a guest request. I'm going to bring you right up, guest. Actually, I could do that first. Anyways, Marcy, thanks for hanging out. Let's see what this person has to say. I'm going to change the background real quick.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. I need your age, please.
Oh, I'm 46.
You're 46. Yeah, thanks for joining. Let me put it out of the background here. So I want to have conversations with people that think that this was an important political thing that the people needed to chime in on. Because we're talking 1 in thousands, like 1 in 10,000 kids get a gender dysphoria diagnosis. It takes a year in front of a psychiatrist and a therapist. That's just to be able to begin this healthcare. And it's personalized healthcare, and it's healthcare that you get back out of up until you're about 15 or 16. Anyways, so always, are you against this healthcare?
Yes.
I want to ask, what specifically about the healthcare?
It's a life-altering decision made before the age of consent. And I don't consider it to be health care. I consider it to be radical gender ideology.
Okay, well, hey, that's the thing is it's America. You get to have those conspiratorial beliefs. You get to go.
I don't have to believe in radical gender ideology.
Well, the thing is you call it radical gender ideology. Let me read this. Have you heard of the Mayo Clinic before?
Sure have.
Okay, this is from the Mayo Clinic's website. It says right here. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate pressing buttons. Gender affirming care is medically necessary, safe health care backed by decades of research, supported by every major medical association. That represents 1.3 million U.S. doctors. 1.3 million U.S. doctors are represented by associations that back this healthcare. So you're saying 1.3 million U.S. doctors, they believe in radical gender ideology, and you, sir, are smarter than the doctors. You care more about the kids than the parents, and this should be something you vote about?
Yes.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Getting your kid chemotherapy is life altering.
Mm-hmm.
Should you be able to weigh in on if that should be outlawed?
That's not gender ideology causing it.
Okay.
Kids are not gender ideology.
What are you worried? Are you worried the kids are going to regret the healthcare? Because that's not what the statistics say.
I just watched a documentary called "Suffering in Silence," all about children detransitioning. It's pretty sad, actually.
Okay, well now I want to put up something, and let me gap for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're going back and forth. this is excuse me. How many trans people regret transitioning?
That's
Only
according to your study from an association that only advocates for transgender community. So try again. Debunked.
But no, that's the thing though. Like you watch bullshit Fox News. I just showed you. Hey, I'm not the guy that's going to say I read every
All the
study.
studies in this executive order, sir, it says every study that you've used.
Hey, you don't get to talk over me, sir.
Okay, when you want to talk,
Yeah, I'm old. I'm elevated. I'm not heated. You're getting heated with me.
I just
Why
want to.
are you going to crash out? Are you going to crash out, sir? Why are
I'm
you
not
getting
crashing.
angry?
You just don't want to accept where all your science comes from. Where does your science come from? Where?
Hey, I'm going to drop you. I'm going to drop you, sweetheart.
Harvard and Yale, Stanford,
I told you every fucking major medical association believes it's
Princeton.
healthcare, sir.
That's a lie.
That means every psychiatric, every pediatric, they all believe it's
Lie.
healthcare. And you think there's a conspiracy. Do you believe the moon? Do you believe the moon landing happened?
Wait,
I mean, you can
do you
try to
believe they're all
pretend like
captured
I'm
by the
like all you want.
Do you believe the
He
moon
believes they're all
landing
Are you a
captured by the
pedophile, sir? Do
Illuminati.
you remember what Manblo? Do you remember Manblo when we had to boo Manblo?
Now he's talking about blowing me, guys. What the fuck's going on? Hey, everybody, we don't have any hate speech or bullying on Gay Santa's Live, and that was homophobia. That is not tolerated here. Before I got a guy in the guest request, I'm going to bring up in just a second. This is what's really going on, guys. This is why Republicans hate trans people so much, because they're obsessed with them. This is from lawsuit.org. Let me read this to you real quick. With more than 4.7 million transgender corn-related Google searches each month, Republicans represent those searching the most. So there is very strong corollary evidence. This map's particularly about the word femboy. What's funny is this guy yelling about how he loves kids or some bullshit. I brought this up to him and it triggered him and he goes, "That's about femboys, not." And then he used a T-slur, which is so funny because they literally have a similar map of the T-slur searches and correlated to where Republicans are. Marcy, I don't know if you remember this. I'm going to let you up in just a second, guys. When I was in high school, not even high school, like junior high school, and this was just the beginning of like gay rights and stuff, there was a senator that was very much a Republican senator against gay rights, and he was busted trying to have understall action at the airport bathroom. And it's just so typical. That's so typical of the kind of dishonesty that these people are living in. So they're saying that they're worried about kids. That's not what's going on. God forbid. I'd like to learn more, though. I want to have more conversations. Let me let the next guest up. Thanks for hanging out, Marcy.
Yep.
Okay. This guy's name is Men Rule It All. I don't know if you want to be. If that's a flex. You rule this terrible. Hello. What should I call you? Should I call you Men? Mike? Mike, okay, I'm Santa. I gotta ask your age. I'm 48.
I'm 51.
Okay, right on. That means you were born in 73. My sister is 51.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, I want to have a conversation about this background here. I want to start out by saying that I am not telling people that they should have this health care, right? I think the very few kids that access this care are suffering from terrible mental illness. They've been in front of a psychiatrist for over a year. And I think the parents that are going down this road with the kids are talking to them. They're having long and hard conversations, and the parents are looking at all the research and stuff. But I'm telling you that it's really un-American to litigate and say that we care about these kids and we know more than science.
So you said it's a mental illness?
Yes, it is. It is in the diagnostic, the DSM, and so it's. Some people say it's a mental. Some people say it's a disorder. I'm going to say illness because that's something people understand. And at the time when they're getting diagnosed, it is messing their lives up. Yeah, it's a mental illness. This is psychiatric care.
You know, if you ask your peers who also go live here that are trans, they would be mad at you right now.
Oh, is this Lucho? Lucho. Is this
Lucho? We're having a conversation, right?
No, but it's terrible. The thing is, I can't have a conversation with you because you come up here and you want to say that
I'm being civil.
I know, but I'm saying, Lucho, you've come up here and you've called me.
And I apologize there. Can we talk now?
Well, I'm going to say a couple things about it, and and you're on thin ice now. But I'm going to say first is it's a dangerous thing, and it makes me sick that people these days can throw around that as an insult against people they disagree with, because that's the most disgusting thing. But it's also dangerous. Now, I'm not worried for my safety, and I've done a very good job of having no children. I'm a 48-year-old single man. There's no business for a single man to be around children. And what straight people do is they make kids with one man, and then they bring those kids around other men. And that's very much a thing that's going on in the straight community. So I'm Marcy. This is the Lucho. Have you heard of Lucho, Marcy?
I have.
Should I? He. It took me a while to recognize his voice. Do you know what's funny? I have a clip. He joined my live once. I didn't know who it was. He said he was a non-binary alien. So I'm like, tell me about your alien race and gender identity. And he's like, well, I'm a they them. My they's from Saturn and my them's from Jupiter. I'm like, oh, I want to hear about Uranus. He goes, of course you do, Santa.
You know what? Actually, that I never did that. Honestly, I'll tell you if I did or not. But that's
Oh,
but
you're
that
the
wasn't me
you're the
though.
non-binary alien. Okay, never mind. So, Lucho, I don't know if I want to have a conversation with people that spend full-time hours wanting to yell about this stuff.
We're
Um,
talking about. I believe that transgender are valid. What are you talking about? I have a problem with the belittling and the bullying part, and also with the misinformation. Like, let me ask you something. When you get offline here, I want you to either who do you talk to who is that goes live? Like, are you friends with Mel or Tweener or anybody?
Nobody. I don't do Discord. I don't talk to people off of TikTok. I don't message people on TikTok. Lucho, I stay out of the drama. So you come here to see who I talk to. What are you? See, like that's the thing that's really crazy to me, Marcy. Is it's the whole
But you call it a mental illness. That's pretty bad, man.
what gender dysphoria is in the DSM. So it's a
You're saying that transgender people have a mental disorder.
no. Well, a mental disorder. Yeah, because the thing is if they
Wow.
Lucho, listen to this. So if they get this care, they could be resolved. The gender dysphoria could be resolved. I literally have a mod who's a gorgeous 22-year-old
What
who
if
was
they
so,
don't have gender dysphoria?
if they don't have gender dysphoria, they can't access this care as a minor. Now, as an adult, depending where they live, they might be able to access the care. I'm not sure how that goes actually. The gatekeeping for adults accessing HRT, I think it varies from location to location, but we're talking specifically about juveniles. So they have to have a diagnosis. It takes a year in front of a psychiatrist or more to get the dysphoria diagnosis. And that's where the care would start. But I'm not saying get this care for your kids. I'm saying how dare people that don't care about these kids, that don't know about medical science? Because the truth is, Lucho, people aren't worried about these kids having a good result. They're worried about more trans people. They're worried about the women are worried about their men watching the stuff on their phone. Like there's something going on, and it's deeply rooted transphobia and homophobia, Lucho, and that's why people have turned it into something to legislate against, because it's not a big deal. Like the number of sick kids with this is so few compared to the number of hungry kids. 20% of U.S. kids are hungry, and they're going to cut food stamps thanks to Trump and Tesla. You know.
So, okay, well, let me ask Mars. Mars, do you think that someone under 18 or that has gender dysphoria, they have a mental illness?
So, being trans is not a mental illness. Gender dysphoria is a condition that can lead to mental illness,
Okay, thank you.
right? So,
All right. So that
uh,
was easy. Let me ask you something also.
Wait a
You
second. I
know
want to
what
I want to
they
chime
say?
in. Marcy, that was really well said, and I'm glad you're here.
All right, so listen, how about this? How about when we discuss about the kids getting puberty blockers, they always say they're reversible. You can, it's reversible. So if it's reversible, why is it like a mandatory thing to get? Why not just validate them
it's not
as
it's not mandatory, Lucio. I mean, I think I don't have the study in front the paper in front of me from Princeton, but um, first of all, like I think the number of kids who are on puberty blockers is extremely low. Like I'm talking about 1,000 kids maybe across the United States. So, um, right? And so when we talk about kind of that kind of portion, and when we talk about gender affirming care, cis kids, like cis boys who have gynecomastia,
Don't
have
go
more
down.
surgeries
We all
than
know this part.
right.
We can pass by this part, but like
No,
I
hey,
said,
Lucho. Here's the thing. I want to touch on what you said, because you said some bullshit about that the puberty blockers, even though they're reversible, they're mandatory. None of this healthcare is mandatory. Nobody's forced to take their kid to a psychiatrist.
no. What I'm saying is that when we say don't give it to them, and then they say, okay, well, when they're given to that it's reversible, no problem. Even if they go through it, that it's reversible. You get back your body goes back to normal, which is an outright lie.
Okay,
It's a lie.
I want you to know. I don't know how many studies you've read, because I'll tell you the truth. I'm a smart man, and I'm not going to go down some rabbit hole to understand studies deeply, to talk to people that don't read studies.
I'm actually hearing what well, not yours. I'm actually talking about every uh, trans or LGBTQ live here on TikTok. I'll use that as an example.
Right, wait,
It's reversible.
Lucho, you know that there are cis kids and trans kids who go on puberty blockers,
Yeah, I
right?
understand that. I mean, it doesn't.
Right, and that puberty
But-
blockers
but
don't
here's
change your
the difference.
voice; they're
Here's the
reversible.
difference. Here's the difference. That is with the body, right? That's with the body.
Well,
That's
so
with
is,
a boy having a. But the other part is more for the mental. What?
Lucho.
no, I mean they both do the same thing. They both delay.
Lucho, is mental health as important as physical health?
What's that? No, they're all equal.
Mental health is as important as physical health.
That's why they're not giving They're not giving puberty blockers out. Like,
No, hey, listen, Lucho. Mars said something that was really important, and then in the chat confirmed it. There's like 1,300 kids in the country that get puberty blockers specifically for dysphoria. When they say it's reversible, they're saying that they could only do them for a year to a year and a half, and then if they decide to not go on cross-sex hormone HRT therapy, they would begin their puberty and have a regular puberty, just be a late bloomer. And this here is, and this is from, this is the most current study. And I did read the article, and it was interesting enough. I read the abstract, of course. So this is a 10-year study. This is from JAMA. That's the Journal of the American Medical Association's Pediatrics. This is a 10-year study specifically on teenagers that got puberty blockers and HRT. It's 10 years. It's going to be a 20-year study. So this is the 10-year results. They were published last year. They're from 2022. Only 4% have a regret rate of some sort. 97% of the kids in this study continue accessing gender-affirming care. So
the math doesn't even math on your board there, number one.
no,
Number
yes,
two-
it does. Lucho, yeah, let me break it down for you. 4% experienced some sort of regret rate. That doesn't mean that they all hated it and they thought it was terrible. 97% continued accessing the care. So 4% experienced some sort of a regret rate.
Now, what about the 4%? What about the 4%?
That's, well, you know what? That's not how medicine works. Lucho.
Hey, buddy. I mean, they're 4%.
Here's the answer.
What about the 4%, sir?
Lucho, here's the deal. If you got a
They're
trans
human.
listen, I want to talk to you.
They're
If you got a
human.
trans kid, and you're saying,
I'm sorry.
Hey, I want you to mute. Let me yap for a second. And you're telling your kid, and I don't think you would do this in a million years. You're telling your kid, dress the way you want to dress, grow your hair the way you want to grow your hair. I'll call you what you want me to call you. We'll call you she, her, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you would ever do that in a million years. But then you say, hey, no puberty blockers. The science isn't strong enough. We don't want the outcome. I'm your parent. It's my choice. This is what you get to do as a parent. Then your kid grows up and says, you were a shitty dad. You were a shitty dad. I needed that care. You watched me suffer. Or your kid goes, hey, I'm so glad I took the route. You know, that's what the kids get to do. You're crying about the 4% regret rate when 97% continue with the care because they're happy. You're being dishonest, Lucho. You're being
No, I'm
dishonest.
not. I'm asking. I feel sorry for this 4%. You don't.
No, Lucho, that's not true at all. That's not
It
how
is.
medicine works.
It is.
No, that's
Those
I don't want you to. You don't get
4%ers. Oh my God.
Lucho, more people regret knee surgery than they do gender affirming care and gender affirming surgeries.
He doesn't care about the kids having a good outcome. He cares about the four. He doesn't care about the 4% either. He hates trans people. He's obsessed with us. He thinks I talk to people or some bullshit. Lucho, I hope you don't have kids around you because I don't think that they should be hearing you do this bullshit. I really don't think that. I don't, and I hope you have something fun to do because this does not seem
If
like.
this is the way you want to come at me, that's fine. Like I said, I'll be civil if you want to come at me that way. I
What
just feel bad for those
what exactly
4%.
what I'm telling you that this is the best information I could find, and you're crying. Oh, what about the 4%? I'll tell you,
I'm sorry, but half
twice in my life, Lucho,
less than half percent.
twice in my life, I've been prescribed 2 different medications that have a very rare side effect of making certain people manic and psychotic, and it devastated my life twice, 12 years apart, right? So, but I don't say, oh no, nobody gets antidepressants anymore because they've messed my life up. I'm the 1%. I don't say, oh no, nobody gets to have a stimulus, no Adderall for kids anymore. You know what? Kids, so many grown people regret their parents threw Adderall and Ritalin at them. And then it's so easy to get that right. They don't have to go to a psychiatrist for a year, right? But nobody's legislating against that because it's un-American. Because we let people raise their kids and access the care, and then it's Lucho. It's your position's un-American, and I'm being serious. I don't know what your deal is about like haunting people's lives or thinking we're like conspiring together or something.
Who's doing that? I'm just talking right now, and I'd like to have a chance to say something.
Yeah, say something, Lucho. Tell me about how you feel so much about
So we all know that less than 0.5% of the world is trans, right? Now that's a very small margin, right? But they're valid. They're valid people, right? We both agree. Valid people. But now it's 4% regret rate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened there? What's wrong there, buddy?
Lucho, a 97% continue on with the care. Lucho, I don't want to say unkind things about people's intelligence. Guys, he's not very smart. He's not very smart. Hey, TikTok, I dropped that person for community guidelines violations. We don't want that person saying anything that's misinformation. And he very much was trying to spew misinformation, misguided misinformation. And he also is somebody that defames people, that goes around calling people disgusting things because he disagrees with them. And he gets his jollies. And Mars, you're teacupping, but best believe, Lucho, you sound inebriated. You consistently sound inebriated. No, there's no hate speech and there's no bullying on Gay Santa's platform. And no transphobia or homophobia. That guy is steeped. That guy is steeped with transphobia and homophobia. And you know what, Lucho? I hope you're okay because I don't imagine it being a happy existence. But I hope you're doing okay.
Jelly, sorry, Joe, I read your comment wrong. But the Yale Integrity Project is a really good read. It's written by a lot of great experts from Yale and beyond, and it kind of goes through it's a scathing review of the cast report, the cast review, and it also does a really good job of giving links to where they say puberty blockers are reversible. Here are the number of kids. Like, there's a lot of good information in that Integrity Project.
You know what, Marcy, I might want to access something. Here's the thing, like I don't want something that has too much of the science and math in it. Because I used to be a math. Did you know I used to be a math nerd? Do you know what's funny, Lucho? You don't understand math, sweetheart. 97% go on with the healthcare. You're crying about kids that had a terrible outcome and then some sort of regret rate. That doesn't mean they all had a terrible outcome. I want to see clearly that when you have a bad result from your medical care, it's terrible. It's terrible. We still access medical care, sweetheart. We still access medical care. You said mental health care was as good or as important as physical health care, but then you're going to backwalk it. And you don't know the math. Here's the thing, Lucho. I don't know if you're lying to yourself because you're lying. I just wonder if there's duplicity to it or if you're just like constantly gaslighting yourself. Like if you're constantly like telling yourself. I know I was closeted. I was raised he's from my generation. Gen X sucks. We're terrible baggage. We're terrible people. I'm not going to defame him like you did me. Anyways, I was raised to believe that gay men were the boogeyman, that the absolute worst outcome would be to turn into a gay man. And they were the butt of every joke. They were the people that were going to get abused the most. We could keep them out of the bathrooms, keep them out of the locker rooms. It was a mental illness until 1972, a mental illness in the DSM. You know, I'm sure it was a paraphilia. Anyway, yeah, and now fast forward 2025, and these nasty guys that have so much internalized homophobia, so much transphobia, are crying, and they are turning trans women into the boogeymen. And literally, people think that one of the most important things going on in America right now is trans people, and it's outrageous. It messes me up a little bit. I'm glad you're in such a progressive place, Marcy.
It's kind of the greatest thing about it, right? Is living in the PNW, and I think that's one of the issues. Hey, facts are racist. The Mayo Clinic still actually backs gender affirming care and puberty blockers for all.
Hey, Marcy, I'm going to take a break. I actually, I have fun going live, and I don't want to push it. I want, yeah, you know what I mean.
No, you should do it. I'm going to. I had like horrible luck where we had the ice storm in the Pacific Northwest on my side, and so for some reason I went like 4 days without internet because the fiber was somehow injured somewhere along the way near my house. And but the funny thing is I was hanging out with my oldest kiddo, and he discovered like Murphy Brown and News Radio, and I forgot how much I love News Radio. So I'm gonna rewatch News Radio again.
Oh, I could tell you're enthusiastic about doing that. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, no. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
You can't answer. Like Nate once told me that Stanford medicine like was run by quacks. So I don't really take Nate seriously. He refuses to give any kind of medical sources. If you ask him, he's like they're all controlled or captured by the Illuminati.
I gotta say good night to Rowan real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. Rowan, I love you. Good night. He's turning off his phone, so I wanted to say good night to him. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean Nate's not undefeated.
No. Do you know what Nate hates me because he's never been able to best me. I don't know. I joined us live, and he was saying for like a week he was saying the word antithesis. So I joined. I'm like, sweetheart, let me do you a favor, because he immediately insults my weight and stuff, and I'm like, you're saying antithesis. It's antithesis. It's antithesis, right? And then he said it was his accent. And then I made a clip of it, and he commented that it was his accent, and he's never said it since. He's never said it since because he knows it's saying it wrong, and he wants to defame me because I made some trolling comment in the oppositional live about him doing a specific type of gardening called edging, and he spoke hours about how terrible I am, and come to find out he's underage and he's been getting money from these strange women and.
No, and he like there's a lot of different things in the GC space that was kind of creepy.
I'm staying out of it.
You should. I'm staying out of it
because I had fun with it, but I don't want to have anything to do with them anymore, and I'm just going to do my 1v1.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'm 80/16 all.
I'm blocking them now too because I still scroll by them and they'll even be like, "What's Santa doing in here?" I'm like, block. I gotta block these people. Hey, 76, how's it going?
Pretty good. I disagree with the prompt though.
Good. I need to get your age, and I'm glad you're here.
2006.
18 years old. Okay, well,
I voted for the first time this year.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Well, I want to congratulate you for voting the first year that you're allowed to vote, and I could tell that feels important to you. I was disenfranchised for a number of years, and I'm kind of feel a little hopeless about America. But let's talk about this.
Don't be hopeless.
Huh?
Hey! I know that you disagree with him, but just hope he succeeds.
I want to tell you that. Let me correct you because correct myself. I'm not saying I'm hoping for things to get bad. I would never do that. I want sick people to be able to get medical care. I want kids to get fed. You know, they demonize poor people in America. They always have. It's always been too. Like they don't care about the poor kids because it's like, oh, it's the parents' fault, right? It's the parents' fault. There's no food in the cupboards. And they're taking away food stamp benefits, and they're taking away WIC, which is Women, Infant, and Children benefits. And
I don't like that. but
Well, the number one recipients of food stamps has always been minors, has always been children. And yeah, the parents aren't cutting it or something, right? But it's like the thing is 20% of US kids are food insecure, going hungry. And then one in thousands, one in 10,000 kids gets a diagnosis of a mental illness called gender dysphoria to access this care. And they turn to
that's the thing. The gender affirming care is when it starts to get odd for me. I just feel like you know how I feel like when you turn 18, great, let's just make that decision. It's just like joining the military or being able to own a fire, or I mean a pew pew. Sorry, I want to use
no, you're
TikTok.
fine. You know, the thing is, I don't know how much you know about the care, and I don't know if I don't want to do like a deep dive about it. The reason the care is accessed before 18 has to do with puberty. And so, like, if you have a trans girl, that means that your child was born male, and so this child is been in front of a psychiatrist. You've been letting that child now, and this is just a hypothetical, right? Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell you how to raise your kids, but in this hypothetical, you realized early on your child, she communicated to you that she was a girl. You let her dress a certain way, you know, called her a certain way, certain pronouns, she her pronouns, and then she gets in front of a psychiatrist because she has dysphoria, and so after a year of being in front of a psychiatrist, they can pause her puberty when she starts puberty. So that depends on how old she is. So they pause her puberty to get more time in front of a therapist, and then when she's 15 or 16 years old is when she would have the HRT.
I think 16 is a better age.
Huh?
I think 16 is a better age.
Well, it depends where they are, and the thing is what that would do is she wouldn't have a male puberty, and so when you have a male puberty like I did, right? I got a huge barrel chest. I'm just like even when I'm thin, I'm just a big man, right? Over 6 foot tall, you know. There's certain things that happen in a male puberty that you could never reverse, right? But she wouldn't have a male puberty. She would have what would be like a female induced puberty, and that would give her none of the damage we could
I
call it.
understand, but the thing is it also came from a personal experience for me. I hit puberty when I was 11,
Mm.
and and I had so many questions in my head about my sexuality or my gender, and I'm so glad that I didn't act on any of that.
Well, you know,
And
the thing is I want to say that like being confused is like totally normal. Nobody is like and you have to be in a pretty bad state of affairs to get to get taken in front of a psychiatrist. Um, you sound like a
well, at
really
that point, it's like for your mental health.
yes,
And
yeah.
but that's like less. Isn't that like 10% of them or less?
What do you mean 10% or less?
Like 10% or less of the transition surgeries for minors.
Okay, no, we don't. They're not supposed to have surgeries as minors. Um,
Or sorry,
the
HR.
the HRT. Yeah, here's a study. Here's the thing though. Like, I want to say you sound like a nice guy. Most of the people that feel so strongly about this care, like I want to have like a little deeper dive of a conversation because what's going on really is that they don't like that these parents are affirming their kids' gender, affirming their delusion, the gender ideology, like all of that bullshit narrative, and they purport to know more than the doctors know, and they purport to care more than the parents care, and it's very un-American to me that people are going to legislate. No time in America have people said, "Oh, I'm worried about the neighbor's kids down the street getting the right care," or some bullshit like that. It's yeah, and it's a slippery slope because there's people this is how much control you have over your kids' medical care. If you're a certain type of Christian, a very popular type of Christian, you could deny your child a simple blood transfusion because of a verse in the Bible, and so a simple.
I'm a Christian, but I would never do that.
Well, the thing is, that's the parents' rights. Sometimes people take them in front of judges to try to get like an emergency blood transfusion because it's crazy. But the thing is, imagine if they were the ones to legislate how what medicine is moral, what medicine should people access, right? It's a slippery slope when people try to legislate their values on other people's families. And let me put this up for you real quick, because it is considered healthcare, and this is the latest study. This is a 10-year study. So this is a 10-year study on juveniles that access puberty blockers and HRT. It's going to be a 20-year study. It's 4% had some sort of a regret rate. So 4 out of 100 had some sort of a regret rate, but 97% continued with the gender affirming care.
That's great, and I'm happy for those people. But then, first of all, 4% regret rate, that's still a pretty hefty amount, and that's for children.
No. No, that's not a hefty amount.
And even then, at the 97% too, isn't that like, I read somewhere that like 40% of trans men end up committing suicide.
No. The thing is I just showed you, and I want you to understand math and medical care real quickly. That kind of regret rate is very, very small, and it's terrible when you get the wrong medical care. It's very much terrible when you get the wrong medical care, and that's some sort of regret rate, because literally 4% some sort of regret rate, 97% continue with that care. When you talk about ideation for trans people not accessing this health care, you could talk to trans people. They'll say that it saved their lives. Not having loving, accepting parents. If you have one parent that's loving and accepting, that's going to drop their ideation rates tremendously, right? So like this idea that they transitioned and they hated it or some bullshit, like that's not a thing. Because I could put up another statistic for you, and this is on detransitioners. And I see I got a guest request. I'll let you up in just a second because I'm winding down with. Is it JJ? Is that your name?
Yeah, my name's JJ.
Okay. This is right here. Only 3% of trans people experience some form of regret. Conversely, 97% are happy with their decision to transition. And only of the 3% that have regret, only 0.4 of detransitioners felt the transition was not right for them. And these are the ones that remain detransitioners.
I know, but Jordan, Georgia in the comments kind of just proved my point by saying 41% will attempt self-unaliving, not will do it. That's still them attempting it. That's still them like not being happy.
Oh,
And that's where my point comes in.
No, but the reason that they're not happy isn't because of their identity. It's because the world is so shitty to them.
I know, but that's the thing. I feel like we could avoid that just by waiting until 16 or 18.
Well, no, 16. Well, the thing is I'm not telling you don't got to get your kid this care. The people that are legislating against it, they spend over $215 million to get rid of this, to make ads about this. People hate trans people is what's going on. People don't want kids to raise their kids differently. People want to beat the trans out of their kids, and they're upset that the people somewhere are affirming their healthcare. I don't think that's you. You seem like a good guy. I'm going to move on to the next combo. This guy's named Ginger Bald Goth, and he's got 1.3K followers, so I don't think he's a troll. Let me see. Hello. Is your name Ginger?
It's James.
James, hey, I need to get your age for terms of service, please.
I'm 29.
You're 29. I'm 48. Are you American?
I'm actually from the UK.
Okay. What's up?
So just a question in relation to the study that you keep bringing up. I've Googled it, and it's only been done on 220 people, which doesn't really give much platform for all of the trans people that obviously go through gender affirming care.
No, we're talking specifically that the healthcare accessed by minors, the healthcare accessed by minors, I think there's like 1,300 in the entire country that got puberty blockers last year. So it was somebody put it in the comments, just over 1,000. So it's actually a large, like not very, 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 very few kids are taking it. It's America. People can't get their kids' teeth cleaned. They don't take them to psychiatrists to affirm their fucking gender. So it was turned into a political issue. It's a fraction of a percent of kids with a serious mental illness diagnosis have this care. So yeah, the study is like 250. That's a huge number for 10 years they've been following these juveniles. It's pretty decent sample size considering how few kids access this care, Ginger.
Right, okay, I just thought with the way you were... Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, well, I appreciate it. And the thing is, I'm not trying to... I'm not the guy that says, I read all the studies, blah 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 blah. I just look at the abstracts and like with the consensuses in the medical community. I mean, every major medical association in America is on board with this healthcare. Every major medical association, 1.3 million U.S. doctors are represented by those associations. I don't think doctors are like, I'll do this healthcare and hurt these kids because of hormone money. It's conspiratorial, and people in America don't have any